Good morning. I'm Professor Dhanam and I belong to the Department of Business Management. I'm going to deal with the topic today for our class, that is roles and skills of a manager. Now this is the topic what we are going to deal under management and organization behavior subject. That's the course what we are learning. So what comes to our mind first when we say who is a manager? Who is a manager? We see that a manager is a person who will take care of the team members, the group which is given to him. So we always have to have a team what he is dealing. So is a manager. Manager is a person who gets things done by and with people. That is what we've been learning. So we said manager has to handle the situations. Keep changing the slide. Manager has to manage the things, manage the team, people who are working under him. So we said he has to exercise certain basic types of skills. Every person requires to have certain skills. Reason they have potential. The person who joins an organization joins with certain skills. So also when we are looking at a manager, we also say that if he is going to deal certain teams, then he has to have skills. What are those skills? The skills are he should have as a manager technical skills. He should also have human skills and conceptual skills. So we will be learning each of these skills which will play a major role for him to manage the team. As a manager, he has to accomplish the task which is given to him, a project what he takes up. That's the reason we are saying each and every manager needs to have these skills changes. So we said what are the levels which are existing before we go into how does he manage to have, how does he use these skills what he is acquired here. He is having these skills. We said yes, at the technical level, at the human level, at also conceptual level. When he is having these skills, we are saying what are the different types of levels what we have seen in the organization structure. We said they are top management, middle management, and they are low level managers. If you are seeing, top managers should be having conceptual skills and human skills, and the person who is having a direct connect to the team, the supervisor, the manager, he should definitely be having these technical skills. So we say he is an expert in that particular area. That's the reason he is directly leading the team. Now where does this particular the work comes from? It is coming from top level, because they have experience in that particular field, area, and the work which is delegated because they are the decision makers. So we speak about skill distribution at various levels, that is management levels, what is reflected here. What are those technical skills what we are looking at? Manager should be having is, he should have these skills and he should be specialized in that area, in that field what he is managing. Now we don't have managers only for human resources. We don't have managers only for financial department. We have so many other departments. We have finance department, we also have operations department, we have marketing department. So there are functional areas. So all these areas are divided into different departments. Each one of them has these departmental heads whom we are calling as managers. But still we are expecting a manager to belong to a different area, different department, but still have technical skills there, which is specialized and having knowledge in that particular area. Otherwise you will not be able to direct your team members, you will not be able to direct your group members. That is important, that every manager should have technical skills, have proficiency as to how you will be able to make your team members handle the project which is given to them, handle the task which is given to the team members. Technical skills, they will lose their relative importance while they go to the next level. If they are going to the top level, we are not expecting them to have technical skills for the reason they require it when they have a direct connect at the supervision level, right? So we will go to the next skill. We have understood what technical skills, why should a manager have technical skills. We are looking at the next skills, that is the human skills. Human skills, right? What are human skills? The person with whom you are dealing with. We said if you have 10 members in the team, you have 50 members in the team, you have say 100 members in the team. Like we were listening to one of the contingent leader who spoke about having 500 members in the team. Imagine you have to handle them. So what kind of skills you are expecting? You are expecting them to have, the leader, the manager, to have interpersonal skill, good communication skills. That's what reason you have to effectively deal with them. Individually you have to deal with them. When you are giving them the task, when you are delegating them the task, you should be able to communicate to them properly. They will be able to accomplish the task if you as a leader, as a manager, you're delegating the work with the appropriate communication skills. If you don't communicate, the first answer which comes from the other side, other person, the team member is, I did not understand the way it was communicated to me, or this is the way I have understood, the way it was communicated is what is important. So what should you be having as a manager is, you should have appropriate communication skills. That's what we are saying. You should be able to deal with the individual. You should also be able to manage the team, that group also. So that's the reason we say you should have appropriate human skills to manage. So interpersonal skills, you should have communication skills is what is important. Next one. We will look at the next type of skills. Go ahead. You should have conceptual skills. We said managers should have technical skills. Manager should also have human skills. Now we are asking him to have conceptual skills. Imagine if he doesn't know the area, the field, he is not expertise, he doesn't have any depth knowledge about that particular field where he is managing certain number of people as a team member under him who is working, who are subordinates for him. If you are not having expertise, you are not having conceptual knowledge, you will not be able to tell the subordinates to do the work. But what we expect performance. What we expect from the subordinates, we expect 100% result. Appropriately, if you are giving the task, you are the ones who is delegating the task, you should have that conceptual skills. You should be able to visualize the way you will be able to give them the task, the way you are able to delegate, disseminate your knowledge, what you have acquired out of your experience in that particular field. Say it is marketing field, say it is operations field. That is what you are going to delegate. So what you should be acquiring is, you should be having is conceptual skills. That is what is required of every manager. Especially if you are talking about the top level, reason you are going to take decision making. You are going to take a decision. Given what is decision, we know decision making is, given alternatives, you are going to pick up the right choice. You have 4 choices. Even a smallest decision what we take for day-to-day activities, what we are having, day-to-day schedule, we have many alternatives for it. If you have to travel to the college, what do? You have many other sources. You can come by walk, you can come by two-wheeler, you can come by bus, you can come by auto. So many alternatives. What did you choose? You chose one alternative amongst you. You felt that is the right one for you. That is decision. Now what at the top level they have to take is decision. So they should have more in-depth. So somebody who has already traveled to that particular place will tell, take an auto, this is the best way you can reach. Take a metro, that's the best way you will reach in a lesser time. See, that is how you take the right alternative you choose, and you know that then you have taken the right decision, right? That is decision making. At the top level you don't. So we said there should be other roles also, not only interpersonal skills, what is required, technical, conceptual. We say there are also managerial roles what he has to face. So Henry Mintzberg is the person who has contributed to this particular concept. He has identified 10 roles what a manager has to play. So we are talking about what roles he has to. We have understood what are the skills a manager should be having. We said he should have interpersonal skills, he should have human skills, he also should have conceptual skills. Now what is the role he is going to play is, Henry Mintzberg has contributed. He said the manager has to have these particular 10 roles what he is supposed to play, having given that particular position. So what is it divided into is 3 categories. You are saying interpersonal, informational and decisional. These are the roles what he has to play. Let's look at the diagram which speaks about how it is divided. What is the manager's role here? At the interpersonal skill, he is a figurehead. At the interpersonal level, see, he is a leader and is the liaison, right? I will also talk about it at length when we go to each and every point. Now look at the interpersonal. We understood it is figurehead, leader, and he has to play a liaison role. Then you have informational role what he has to play is he has to monitor. He is just not delegating the task and leaving it there. So we will talk about it. Disseminator, spokesperson, these are the roles. At the decision level, he is an entrepreneur, he is a disturbance handler. That's a nice term what we are seeing there. He also plays a role as a disturbance handler, and he is a resource allocator as well as a negotiator. So what about when we talk about what role at the interpersonal level? We said he is a figurehead. Now, who is the head of the person, head of the family? The moment I ask you that, we say, ma'am, our head of the family is our father, right? Our dad is the head of the family. Why do we call so? That's the kind of practice we've been having. Now, when we are talking about a manager here in an organization, in an institution, in a company, we said he is the person who is going to lead so many people. So how will he become a figurehead is he is going to be a role model for others. He is going to guide them. He is going to motivate them. He is going to support them. So this is how he has to play a role of a figurehead, right? Next. Now he also plays a liaison role. He has to be a link between the management and that of the subordinates. If you are just taking whatever was decided from the top level and then you are not disseminating that information to the subordinates, will they be able to accomplish what was the decision making taken at the top level? Not possible, not possible. We said daddy has told something to your mother to communicate it to you. If it is not communicated, when the question comes here, what happened? I have told you to communicate something. Whose fault? The communicator is mother. She is supposed to communicate. Similar manner, what does the manager act as? The role what he plays is he is a link between the management who takes the decision to that of the subordinate who is supposed to put it into action, complete the task. Whatever is the objectives, what are the objectives which are formed, what is the vision which they have planned for, what is the strategic plan which is planned for, it has to be accomplished only when manager is able to communicate the same thing to the subordinates, right? That's the liaison role what he plays. Now we have also said he plays a leader role. You are the when you call yourself as a leader. Now when you think about this particular person, I'm calling out the name of the person. You can think Mahatma Gandhi. We always know he has led the nation, right? So if I speak about Narendra Modi, if I speak about APJ Abdul Kalam, we know they are all big leaders who they were able to lead a nation. Now we are talking about the person who leads the company. He should be a role model. He should be able to guide them appropriately. That's why we say a manager has to play a role of a leader. Very appropriately choose the correct leadership style and then implement it. You will be able to see. Sometimes the team might be very good. You give them instructions in a very friendly way, an informal way, they will be able to. So you are a kind of leader who is trying to put in the type of leadership which suits the team. So you should be able to play as a manager, choose the right style of leadership and then delegate the work and see to it that it is accomplished, the task which is given. Now he also plays information roles. Now what is information? We said, ma'am, after we collect data which is required, so this data has to be transformed into information. This information comes from the top management. Manager has to take this information. Then now whenever I am saying it is dissemination of information, it has to be passed on to. You cannot keep the information with you. Then we say there is no transparency. What is required of a manager is you should be transparent enough. You should be able to disseminate whatever top level management has told you. You have to tell the subordinates in the same manner it has to be disseminated. So he plays this role of disseminating information. Can't keep the information with you unless you don't tell the work. It goes in the form of information. The team will not be able to accomplish the work. Now he also plays the role of a monitoring role. What he plays. So we said in controlling, one of the functions of management what we have studied, we said you give the task, you guide them, you place him in the right place, see if the work is done or not. You go back and check. So we have a benchmark what we have created for the organization. Just see if they are able to attain the standards which are set by the organization. The standards which are set by the organization is the vision of the organization. It is the mission what they have to accomplish. It is the objectives what they have framed. It is the strategic planning what they have planned for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. So what you are expecting of the individual member of the organization, the employee, is to accomplish this task. How do they do it? You should be able to tell them, do the work. Till there, if I stop, then I will not be able to make them do the work appropriately. So I have to say, there is a gap with what is the standard which is set by the organization and your performance did not reach. So I do have to perform a monitor role. I have to monitor. So we used to call this, way back when we were in school, is we have a class monitor. What does the class monitor do? Monitors the class to have a discipline before the teacher comes, or if the teacher is not available, they have to write your names on the board. This is it. So we monitor for the reason there should be a discipline. The rules have to be followed. What monitoring does, manager does, standards which are set, the team members have to accomplish it. This is important. If you are not reaching the benchmark which is set by the organization, then we say we are not able to accomplish the objectives set by the organization. It is very, very important that you perform according to the standards which are set. That's why he plays a monitor role here. He controls. He tries to tell what is the gap between the standard which is set to that of what they have to perform, what they have performed. The next role is disseminator's role. I've been speaking about this, that he has to take the information which comes from the top level, the decision making, and then you have to disseminate this information, give the same information which comes from the top level to the subordinates in the right manner. If the objective which was set by the top level for a project which is taken over by this team, if the objectives are not the same which were told, then this project will not be accomplished in the similar manner. So he will play this role. The top level manager receives this information, he disseminates it to the supervisor, in turn to the subordinates. Right? Go ahead. Then he plays the information role. He has to gather information which is required. We always say without resources we will not be able to do work. We say at least provide us that facility. Give us that kind of environment, provide us with resources. In similar manner, if you are asking the employee to do work, your team members to accomplish work, you should be able to give them the right information. So what role does a manager play is, manager plays an information giver role. He has to support the team, give them the information. You have to do, this is the first step, this is the second step, this is the final step, then you will be able to accomplish it. And I know if I am doing a monitor's role, you went wrong in the second step. Immediately we will go back, correct it, and then we will be able to come to the end point, which is the success, what we are looking at. That's the performance, what we want the team member to do. When you will be able to give them the information, right information, that's the role they play. Okay, then he is also a spokesperson. Who is a spokesperson at home for you? Immediately who comes to our mind is mommy is our spokesperson. No. If dad starts scolding on a certain point, your mother will immediately come in and say, no, this is what has happened. It is not her fault. She will not do it otherwise. This is the first time what we are looking at it like this. Imagine you should have somebody who speaks on your behalf, and that is the support you are looking for. What is the role what a manager has to do here? He has to play a role of a spokesperson for the subordinates. He should be able to support them at each and every point where they are looking at. So what a beautiful role what he has to play. Not only is a link between the top management and the subordinates, but he is also a spokesperson for them. He is a support there. He speaks on behalf of these employees, subordinates, team members, to see to it that they will be motivated to do. They will have this morale. Yeah, we have somebody who is going to support us. We are doing a good job. He is there always to speak on behalf of us. That's the manager's role. What we are seeing is he plays a spokesperson. Now when we look at the outsiders, he will also be a spokesperson for the company to the outsider. That's how you also can call him as an industry expert. You will be representing your company to speak about the company to the outsiders. Why do we have to reflect this to the outsiders? Only for the reason that you are trying to speak about the image of the company. Whoever represents the company definitely speaks about the image, builds that brand name for the company. So that's the reason if you have ever seen who is the one when there is a launch of iPhone next version, who is the one who launches it? Who is the one who speaks about it? He is the CEO of the company who speaks about it. So who is the whole world is looking at him. So he is the person who is going to launch, bring in the image, build the image of the company. So imagine here we are talking about manager being the spokesperson. If he is also at the top level, if you are speaking about a person who will be an industry expert, speaks about the image and builds an image for the company. Then you also have a decisional role what he has to play. Very, very important role what a manager has to play is decisions role. We have said he takes the decision, at the top management decisions are taken and then they are given to the manager. In turn it is disseminated to the subordinates. So decisions which are taken are very important by the manager. These are the skills and roles what we spoke about today, and with this I end my class. Thank you very much.